What's up everybody, and thank you for joining me for another video. My name is Whack4863, but you can call me Whack. You're probably wondering why I don't have any armor on. That's because I'm going to show you a character build today. So I'm going to show you everything that you need to build your character, the way that I've been playing with my character for the last week. And I'm going to show you some of that video, how I've been playing and what I've been able to do with this current character build, because I wanted to test it before giving it to you guys. Additionally, right after this upload, I will be live streaming an event where you can tell me to go and kill things. I'm going to be doing that solo. That means I'm not taking a thrall. I am not taking a pet. It's just going to be little old me running around and killing different things on the Isle of Siptah. So hopefully you can join me for that live. The link to that live stream is in the description of this video. It will also be available after I'm done live streaming to watch, should you not be able to make it while I'm live. So, jumping right into this, the first thing that I want to say about this is that 90% or more of this build is on the map. You can just go and learn it. You don't have much RNG in this build. In fact, the only RNG that you're going to find is with my attachments to my armor and my weapons, but you could still do this build without those attachments. Jumping right into it, what I want to do is just show you my attributes. So this is where I have the points spent in my attributes. So I have 28 in strength, 11 in agility, 31 in vitality, 37 in grit, and 8 in encumbrance. Now, the important notes for you on this is you definitely want at least that 30 in vitality. I also think you want that 30 in grit. Those are the 2 points that I always try to get to when I'm making a build. And you could play around with this just a little bit and make a little bit different variation of it, but I'm going to explain why I set it up exactly like this. The other thing with this build is I do recommend just having all the sigils. Yes, there are sigils that give you some additional bonuses with this build, but I don't necessarily want to point those out. I'm just going to tell you, get all the sigils. It's going to make your character much stronger, and really, if you're going to play on the Isle of Siptah, you should be doing the vault. So let's jump into this build, and the first thing you're going to see is the aspect of the demon. Now, I'm sure you've seen this on other builds. It's a really great helmet, especially if you're going for a light build, and that is what I'm going for in this build. So I want it to be light. All the armor pieces are light, and this is very important because it is dense. It has the most armor value of a helmet that you can get in a light armor. Crafted with the shield right armor, this guy gives me 422.4 armor. That's going to be a little over half of my total armor value when we're done. The next thing is the bracers of the serpent. This is for the bonus strength. This gives you 8 additional strength points. Next on the list is the boots of the serpent, and this is going to give me 9 additional encumbrance. Now, the next 2 pieces I chose because I wanted the boost in vitality, and it had a decent armor rating. I also like the way that it looks. So this is the Black Corsair pauldron, and it is learned on the map as well, and I'll show you that a little bit later on in the video. And then we have the Black Corsair leggings as well, and that is going to give me bonus vitality. Now, on these I have different attachments. So on the helmet, I actually have the armor reduction kit. Now, you can make this at any point in time once you unlock the Tinkerer's Bench. It's really simple, but that is so that I can lower the weight of this helmet, because this is also going to be a high stamina build. So I want my encumbrance very low so that my stamina regeneration is very fast. On both the bracers of the serpent and the boots of the serpent, I put the master reinforcement kit on there. Now, you could put a different reinforcement kit on there if you don't have the master reinforcements or the master weapon fittings unlocked. That is one of the RNG items in here, because that recipe is locked behind a random number generator in the last chest of the vault. So you can find that recipe in that last chest, the chest with the sigil, but it is not a guaranteed recipe to find. And then on the Black Corsair stuff, I just have the thick armor plating. Now for this build, I am going to use some buffs. So right now I'm using the Grey Lotus Potion, the Frost Lotus Potion, the Elixir of Grace, and the Elixir of Vigor. Now the Frost Lotus Potion does give you a random stat, and the one that I'm looking for is Encumbrance. The reason why I'm using the Frost Lotus Potion is it's actually cheaper than making the Elixir of Numbing. However, you could not do the Lotus Potions and just add each one of these to your build. So it's going to be Might, Grace, Enduring, and Numbing. If you do use the Grey Lotus Potion, that gives you bonus Strength and bonus Grit. Now, if you're going to use those potions, you will also need the Elixir of Grace and the Elixir of Vigor. On top of that, I am using the War Paint of Vitality, which works out because it's actually the color that I like and it matches my armor die set. For food, I am using the Cooked Pork Feast, and the wraps I'm using are the Infused wraps. I get these because they drop on the map and I don't have to craft them. The aloe that I'm using is the Concentrated Aloe Extract. Once you see how quickly I'm able to heal with this build and all the buffs on there, you'll see why I'm only using the Concentrated Aloe Extract. Now the weapons that I'm going to be using are the Daggers of the Outer Dark. I actually use these more than anything else, but we'll get into the other things as well. The Battle Axe of the Outer Dark, and then the Phyroxic Daggers. Additionally, I do have the Fiend Bone Shield, but I barely use it when I'm actually playing. But I'll show you why we have that in our inventory. Now, I've drank the Grey Lotus Potion and the Frost Lotus Potion. I did not get the additional encumbrance that I wanted from the Frost Lotus Potion, which means that I have to go back into my inventory and use the Elixir of Numbing. That happens from time to time, but here's the build after I use all the potions and elixirs and the war paint, and additionally put on my armor. So what you're looking for is the 12 in strength, 3 in agility, 12 in vitality, 3 in grit, and 12 in encumbrance. Now all the buffs from the war paint and the elixirs or the frost lotus potions are going to last for an hour. So let me show you what happens when I go to a one-handed weapon with the shield. Now the one-handed weapon is not giving me any additional stats. I just like that one particularly because it actually gives me the additional sunder and the bleed. So you can see my strength is up to 17 with the shield that I'm carrying. Now with this build you will not make it to the last perk in strength, but I really don't think you need it. In fact, I don't even need it that high. I've been shredding through everything in the Isle of Siptah. Now with this build, when you are fully fed, when your hunger is at 100%, I have 614 total hit points. If we get in here, we can see I have 781 armor with a light armor build. If we move over to the stats, you'll see I have a 75% damage reduction. This is really where I wanted to get to with the damage reduction. And then if we equip our daggers, these are the Outer Void daggers, you can see my total melee damage is 106. If we equip the shield with the one-handed axe, you can see that my damage goes all the way up to 133. So let's jump into the actual use of this build. This build is designed to be very nimble, to be very fast, to move around a lot. Now you could decide whether you want to stack poison or stack sunder, and you could do that on the fly using both of the daggers. But this build, again, is designed to move an absolute ton. So I want you to pay attention to a couple of things while you're watching this. So the first thing I want you to pay attention to is my health, because I actually allow a lot of these attacks to hit me. And I also want you to pay attention to when I am healing, because it's important to see how quickly I heal with this build. There's a reason why I wanted to get up to the 4th perk in vitality. It's important because I will actually heal faster with that perk. The other thing that I want you to pay attention to is my grit. The amount of stamina that I use in this build and the amount of moving around and attacking that I'm able to do actually allows me to be a harder and tougher opponent against a lot of these enemies. So we're going to get right in here on the Red Mother and we're going to solo her with this build. That probably means that I won't end up fighting the Red Mother in the live stream that I'm doing later today. But that's okay because you can watch it in this video. Now, I do end up getting quite low on health towards the end of this fight, but you will see that I am victorious in defeating the Red Mother all by myself. Now pay close attention to how quickly I heal here. I'm able to heal a lot of HP in a very short period of time. As quick as I'm able to drink that potion, my health bar is filled up. And when you're in solo fights and you're not able to get anything else to take any of the aggro or to cause any damage to your opponent, it's very important that you're able to heal quickly. Now I've expended all my stamina all the way down to a -35. Look at how fast my stamina actually comes back. And I'm able to stop, drink a potion, and reset before the Red Mother even makes it to me. And that really is what this build is all about. It's about being able to get back into the fight quickly and to be able to regen stamina and health on the fly. Now, I didn't follow my own instructions of killing the smaller dragons in the area before I started this fight. Additionally, a little bit later on, I actually end up with a corrupted shoe bill as well. So this fight actually ends up much harder than it should have been from the beginning. But I think that's okay because really this shows a worst case scenario. If you're overwhelmed and facing more enemies than what you were ready to take on, can you still make it out of that encounter victorious? Now, one thing that I do want to mention with this build is I have no idea whether this would be a decent build for PvP. I don't play PvP, so there's no way that I'm going to be able to say it is good or isn't good in any scenario. So, for those of you that do play PvP, my challenge to you is to try this build out and then come back to this video and let me know how it actually did in a PvP scenario. But even if it's not good for PvP, this build actually really fits my style of playing Conan Exiles, because my style of playing Conan Exiles is to go from hot interaction to hot interaction in the least amount of time as possible, and then do that in the most in-your-face way possible. So I like to run around, I like to get right up into the action, and I like to not have to stop and wait for stamina to regen or for myself to heal. Now I am going to take a moment to sidetrack just a little bit and to give a big high five to Funcom for making me actually feel like the hero in this situation. A lot of the time when I'm playing on the Exiled lands, I feel like the only way to complete that content is to take a thrall with me. When that thrall can kill something in about 2.5 minutes, but it would take me 20 minutes to defeat it if I tried to do it solo, it doesn't feel like I can be the hero. However, if I can go and fight something in about 6 to 8 minutes that would take my thrall 3 to 4 minutes, I feel like that is a very good interaction. Okay, so now we're going to dive into where you get these items. So for the aspect of the demon and the outer dark weapons, what you're going to need to do is head over to either of the spider vaults. The demon spider vaults are where you're going to learn this armor and these weapon sets. And you can visit either one, they both teach the same thing. If you want to get your hands on the Feroxic daggers, you're going to need to visit one of the 2 drowned vaults. So either the Vault of the Drowned or the Vault of the Twice Drowned is going to teach you the Feroxic weapons. The Bracers and the Boots of the Serpent are going to be learned in either one of the Serpent Vaults. So you can visit either one of those to learn those armor pieces. If you're looking for the Fiend Bone Shield, you are going to need to get yourself over to the Vault of the Fiends. Okay, so for the last pieces of armor, I'm going to show you where to get the Black Corsair garb, and it is at the Spit, and it's going to be located at E6. Now, when you come in here, you will be faced with some resistance, so keep that in mind, and there actually is a skull boss that is guarding this recipe location. However, you can get in there without having to fight her should you need to do that. But she does stand right in front of the boat where the recipe is located. Now this is the boss that is going to drop the Yeti pet and the Gorilla pet, as well as the Gray Ape pet. So you may have seen this in one of my videos before. However, the book is right there at the top of the bed, and all you need to do is interact with that in order to learn the Black Corsair outfit. Now this really is the first time that I've ever done one of these videos where I talk about a character build, but I do find them fun. Hopefully you found them fun as well. If you did, go ahead and whack that like button. And what I'd like for you to leave in the comment section below is your character build. Maybe it's something I can feature in a future video. The whack moments in this video were sponsored by my legendary supporters. Thank you very much. If you'd like to become a member, you can click the button below that says join. That'll give you all the details. I'd like to thank all my subscribers for their continued support, likes, comments, and general awesomeness. If you're not a subscriber, you can start your free trial today and cancel at any time. Clicking the bell is highly recommended so you get notified when I upload another video. Now, if you're not done watching, there's 2 videos on the screen. You could pick one of those to watch next. I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it. I'll catch you next time. Peace.